Hello everybody, it's Jenny McGarvey here with you today, sharing a page that I created using the Chic Tags brand new Storyteller collection, plus a sheet of paper from the Cloud 9 collection. So you can see how well these two collections work together and what fun it can be to combine various different collections together on one single page. Now I used a white cardstock background and I put a strip of the ATG adhesive at the bottom and put down a 1/2 inch strip of patterned paper, and I'm doing the exact same thing at the top as well. I felt like this gave the page sort of an anchored feeling with having that strip of patterned paper at the top and the bottom, but because both strips contain a lot of white, it's not overwhelming and it's not overly pulling you to looking in that direction. You definitely notice it, but it's not overwhelming. Now I'm going to go through the 3x4 cards in that collection kit. I went through them once, looked at them all, and then chose two that I wanted to use on that layout. I love the yellow one, and the black and white one. The contrast is just fantastic, and I really love what it adds to the page. Not to mention that I am on a huge black and white kick lately, so this really feeds that interest of mine. Now I'm going to go ahead and cut a 4-inch strip of this patterned paper and then two 1-inch from that. Now one side I'm going to use the sequins and the other side I'm going to use the same geometric print that I used at the top and the bottom, and I'm going to layer those on top of one another on the left side of that horizontal photo. Now I'm going to start adhering all of the elements down. As you can see, I adhered the 3x4 card behind my photo, sort of as a mat, but with plenty of it sticking out at the top. And then I'm also going to adhere that beautiful black and white striped journaling card as well, or filler card, or whatever you want to call it. Now I'm also adhering those two 4x1-inch strips of patterned paper to the left of the photo, and as you can see, I have the overall basic design of my page right there. Now it's time to start getting to work on embellishing the page, and I'm going to use some of those acetate words as my title, and I'm going to spell out hello family using one of the words at the top and one of the words at the bottom, and it really makes you look at a larger portion of the page having the title split like that, and it's a little bit off center. Now I'm going to go ahead and go through all of the embellishments in this collection, finding perfect ones. Now as you can see, I'm going to pull out those beautiful die cuts and get them all out because I really want to add a lot of them to this page. I kind of have a feeling while I'm going through them of including as many as I can because they're really beautiful and I like them a lot. Now I'm finding little bits and pieces that go with the overall theme of my page and really seem to work well with the color scheme that I've chosen. I'm trying to stay away too much from pink, not that there's anything wrong with pink and not that I haven't used it on this page, but I don't want it to be the primary focus of this page. So I'm choosing elements, or trying to choose not too many elements that are pink out of this collection of die cuts. Now I figure out quickly which ones that I want to use right away, and then the last few I play with a little bit and try to figure out what I'd like to use and how I'd like to layer them and get them to work on this page as well. As you can see, like I said, it was sort of a use all the tags on here because they're just all really cool and super beautiful, and I wanted to use a lot of them. And not to mention that a lot of them just really worked with my page as well. So I felt like, okay, let's really embellish this page. Let's really dress it up. So I'm looking for one last little tag that'll work underneath that flare badge. It is just yellow with a white arrow on it, and I like that it sort of shifts your focus back to the photo, and I just wanted something to go right underneath it, and I found it. And it's also pink, but again, like I said, wasn't avoiding it completely. I just didn't want it to be the main focus on this page. Now that I've got a design that I really like, I'm going to go ahead and start adhering all of these elements down to the cardstock and the cards, and working sort of my way from right to left, which feels a little bit backwards now that I think about it, but whatever. I guess it's mostly because I put that flare badge down first. Now for most of these elements I'm just using my ATG gun unless it's particularly small, and then I'm using that sticky thumb adhesive from Lifestyle Crafts. Now I'm going to go ahead and start cleaning up those little bits and bobs because I don't want to get any extra die cuts on this page than what I had originally designed. So getting those put out of the way, and I like to keep a mostly pretty tidy workspace, so that really helps me out. Now I am going to go ahead and adhere that little date one to the top of that one, though I do end up using a tiny attacher as well just to give it a little bit more bulk, and so I wouldn't have had to have adhered it with adhesive, but I went ahead and did it anyway. Now I just have a couple left to glue down, and then really we're getting close to being finished with this particular page, just adding a little bit of journaling and the date. Now I am also now going to go ahead and adhere down the title. Now if you'll remember me saying at the beginning it's sort of an acetate, a clear material. I use my ATG gun. You can see it a little bit, but it absolutely does not bother me. And I find that it is less, you can see it less than some of the other things that you could use. I absolutely could have sewed it with my sewing machine, but I didn't feel like doing that today, so I'm just using the ATG gun for that. Now I'm going to break out a Sharpie marker, a fine tip one, and add the journaling. And then after that, all that is left is to add a few black splatters. And I do use a Studio Calico Mr. Huey. I believe that it is dark calico, and it just adds some really cool, bold visual interest to the page, and it goes nicely with that black and white card with it having a lot of contrast as well. So that is very fun, and I just am, like I said, using the Studio Calico Mist. I just unscrew the cap and just a little flick of the wrist and it gets some nice splotches on the paper. I'd like to stop and take a minute to thank you for watching my video. I do really appreciate it very much, and if you've enjoyed it, I would absolutely love it if you would leave me a thumbs up on YouTube. That really helps me out a lot. So thank you so much for watching, and have a fantastic day.